Well, good morning to you and welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's Tuesday, July the 7th of 2020. July 7th. Can you believe that? We've made it through about half a dozen holidays and we're still working remotely here at Houston Community College and very pleased to have you with us this morning. Another person who's with me this morning, Brittany Pacheco, my co-host, joining me across town. Brittany, you like this picture behind me?
You know, what's not to love about downtown Houston? I mean, it's so iconic, of course, the skyline. Just wish it was a little cooler out here because,
Yeah.
man, it is hot.
It is hot, and I took this picture from a place I used to live near downtown about 2 years ago on the 4th of July, right before the fireworks went off. So things have changed a lot since then, though. I know we had a big fireworks display in downtown Houston, but we didn't have a lot of people downtown like we normally would.
Yeah, that's true, Todd. I was actually out in the Katy area with some very small group of friends. We're all okay. And, we shut off fireworks and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Some people got to do a lot of things different, a lot more family-oriented events, which really isn't a bad thing when you think about it. So, Brittany, we want to encourage folks to keep in mind there's been a big announcement involving international students, and I know you've been fielding some questions with those in our social media.
Yeah, so real quick, right off the top, before I go into my normal social media spiel, yes, we've seen that ICE has come out with regulations in regards to our international students who are attending college and or universities, that if the respected college and university should go to 100% online, that this will impact their status here to stay as a student. So we have received questions overnight about HCC's stance on this, the policy, what have you. At this time, we do not have an answer for you, international students and individuals who are hosting an international student. It is currently being reviewed by our international student programs. Once we have an update, we will be sure to provide that update on social media. Most likely our website, but for sure social media. So stay tuned. And while I'm talking about social media, be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That way you can find out the latest announcements from us there. But also head over to our YouTube channel. We have thousands of videos produced by our very own HCCTV, one of which is a guest of ours today. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to find out the latest. And last but certainly not least, please share this Up to the Minute podcast. So one, we can share information to the masses, but also grow our audience.
That's right. Thanks, Brittany. We're going to be back with you and talk a little bit more with some events and announcements we'll be talking about in a little while. We've got a couple of special guests. Right now, I want to introduce Daniel Scholl, and you're a financial coach for HCC Southwest and Coleman College for Health Sciences. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you. Good morning. Glad to be here.
Good morning, and we're going to be with you in just a moment, but we want to go out to the Stafford METV area. If you didn't know, HCC has a long-standing partnership with the City of Stafford. We actually work with them to run their municipal television channel, and joining me out there is Raquel Sims. Good morning, Raquel.
Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk more about what Stafford METV is all about. But one important thing, I was off for the last couple of weeks, and I know Mayor Leonard Scarcella passed away. And the mayor had been the mayor of Stafford for more than, I believe, 50 years. He was 79 years old and a true gentleman. I had a chance to work with him several times and can't say enough good things about the man. He really did a lot for establishing Houston Community College in the Fort Bend County and the Stafford area. We've named a building after him, the Stafford Scarcella Center. And Raquel, I know that's where you're located right now. You guys are, or not right now, but that's where the Stafford METV offices are located. Tell me what have you heard in talking about Mayor Scarcella? I know you've worked with him personally over your short time here at with HCC.
Yes, we are deeply saddened that we no longer have the mayor with us. He was an all-around great guy. He made sure he put his best foot forward when it came to, serving the residents of Stafford. That was his primary focus. It kind of touched us. It kind of hit home whenever we heard the news. that we did lose him, but he always ensured that whatever was the best thing for the city of Stafford and how he can be a great vessel. He made sure he did that. If it wasn't for Mayor Scarcella, Stafford METV wouldn't even exist. So with his continuous support, allowing us to be an outlet for the community, that has been great. And so he would truly, truly, truly be missed.
And before we move on to another subject, I want to read just a quick thing here. I received over last week a message from Dr. Sue Cox. And Dr. Sue Cox is a former president of HCC Southwest who had a chance to work with Mayor Scarcella over the years, back when they established the Scarcella Center. And she said, quote, "The mayor loved his city and he wanted the best for it, particularly in education. To that end, he pursued the creation of a college in Stafford. First, he helped us acquire a former unused small school building. From the very beginning, this small space was enormously popular." And she goes on to say, perhaps most important, it was Mayor Scarcella who helped the Houston Community College purchase the land and ultimately build the first large academic building designed for the appropriate college and environment, unquote. And, and of course, Dr. Sue Cox had a chance to work with him, and she's deeply saddened and wanted to express her condolences as well. Raquel, from what I understand there, obviously, with a big loss like this, things need to move on. And I know the city needs to keep operating, and there are plans in place to do that. And people are trudging on, even though with this enormous loss.
Yes, we are definitely going to make sure that we keep the legacy alive that Mayor Scarcella left behind, in response to the quote that you also read. He was also he created and implemented the Stafford Municipal School District as well, which was the first breakaway school district in the nation. Right. So we are going to make sure that we do whatever it is that we can to continue the legacy, continue being an outlet for the city of Stafford and for Houston Community College, and make sure that we put our best foot forward for running everything on the city side.
Now, tell us a bit. Tell us a bit about the Stafford Municipal Television Station, because Houston Community College has a partnership out there, and we actually supply the employees to run the station, and it's a collaboration with the city of Stafford.
Yes, so our team is composed of the city personnel as well as the college personnel. On the city side, we have Ms. Carolyn Entridge, who is the Director of Multimedia Communications, along with Marie Morales, who is the TV engineer. And on the college side, we have Mr. Don Wells, who is the production manager, myself as a producer and the talent. And we have two videographers, Fernanda Ramirez and Stacey Hawkins. I mean, not Stacey Hawkins, I'm sorry. Randall Williams. But right. I honestly want to acknowledge Stacey Hawkins.
She worked there for almost 2 decades, yeah.
Yeah, she was
She's working for us now at downtown.
Yes, and she has just, the moment I got to the station, she just took me under her wings and taught me the ropes. And she is a wonderful producer and all around great supporter and great friend. So I just want to shout out her. But yeah, we run a myriad of city council meetings. Right. We produce weekly news shows, and we do live remote setups for major events like 4th of July, joint meetings with the Stafford Municipal School District and the City Council, and anything else that people can call us on. We are always there, and we air on Channel 16 for Comcast users, Channel 99 for AT&T Uverse users, and we also stream our content over our YouTube channel as well.
And Raquel, tell me a bit about how things have been running now that we're all working in a virtual environment. Back in March, things changed dramatically for all of us at HCCTV. You guys fall under our umbrella, so you're working remotely like all of us are and have been.
Yes, just trying to adjust to the new norm has been miraculously just kind of like mind-blowing. We went off for spring break and we never came back. And right. So trying to adjust to working remotely, a lot of our things that we feature, we are in the field. And so we get that in-person interaction, setting up the interview and actually getting our B-roll and stuff. And so that, has been kind of taken away from us under the circumstances that we're dealing with. So just trying to adjust to that new norm has been good. But we've been making sure that we have been getting the job done, adapting to Zoom meetings, WebEx, and really just establishing a new virtual rapport with with
Right.
individuals that we've been interviewing. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've all learned to do things a different way, and quite honestly, as my day job is I work for HCCTV, and I'm very pleased that all the employees and everyone has really learned to be creative and to do things differently, and to be producing great content that we can put on the web, and in your case for the city of Stafford. So we commend you guys for doing that.
Well, we commend you all for just helping us be a part of your team and being able to be there for us throughout everything.
Well, Raquel, I want to get you back on the show again in the future. What I'd like to do is have you work as our correspondent out in Stafford, and you can join us from time to time, maybe on a weekly basis, and bring us up to date with some of the stories you guys are doing out there and the things you have going out there. What do you think of that?
I love it. And
Yeah.
however I can be a vessel and an outlet for you all, I am all for it in representing Stafford METV, because y'all have done so much for us.
Absolutely. Well, Raquel, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to move across town to Daniel. And Daniel, you are a financial coach for students for HCC. We've had financial coaches on before, but tell us exactly what the role is for the financial coaches and how you can assist our students.
Absolutely. So as a financial coach, we're really here to work with students basically so they can learn financial literacy. And that's really something you can learn at any stage of your life. Sometimes I hear from students, well, I don't have any money. I'm
Right.
a student. So what do I need to learn? If you have $1, you better learn how to spend it. And so we work with students on things like budgeting. How do you manage your money through a crisis? That's been a big topic we've been spending the last 4 months on talking with students with. How do you manage your resources during times that are not normal? We can help students establish a credit score. How do you go about establishing credit correctly? Maybe you've already tried to establish your credit and things have maybe not gone as well as you would like. How do you reestablish a good score and do it in a proper way that's going to have long-lasting impact for you? We like to talk to students about, making that dollar stretch. We don't want to see students just eating nothing but ramen for the last 6 weeks of classes because things have run out.
Sure.
We also go as far, some of our older students have contacted us. I'm buying my house for the first time. I don't understand any of this contract language, or, what is a 401k? What is a 403b? I've heard about these things when I get a job. What am I going to need to do? And we have a lot of different experience and background with the financial coaches. Personally, I have a background in banking and retirement planning. We have someone else who has an investment and retirement planning background. So we can talk to students about any financial questions they have.
Daniel, one of the things I want to talk about, obviously we're going through this pandemic and it's really changed all of our living one way or another, financially, emotionally, the way we're doing things at work. But one thing is people take a while to recover from disasters. And realistically, if you look around the Houston area, there are still people recovering from Hurricane Harvey. And from what I'm understanding, there's some emergency funds from that available if you were impacted by Harvey. Is that the case?
That is the case, absolutely. So another aspect of what the financial coaches do is we do sometimes are able to help with some emergency funds. And in this case, we do have the Harvey Recovery Grant. And as you point out, everyone thinks Harvey is ancient history. But a study from the United Way that came out, United Way of Greater Houston came out about a year after, stating it could be anywhere from 7 to 10 years before Houston has full recovery. There are still neighborhoods that are partially empty and houses are still not, people are not back living in those houses yet. So we do have access. We've been given a Hurricane Harvey Recovery Grant. We still have students that are struggling to get back on their feet. And we have grants available to help students with tuition and fees, books, transportation, housing, and childcare assistance if needed.
And those services, they're free and they're available to students. It's not a cost. And if you're awarded money, is it something you have to pay back, or is it more like a scholarship?
Yeah, great question. No, it's a grant. So you do not have to pay this back. And there are no costs for any of the financial coaching services that we provide here at HCC. So we want to kind of get the word out about this grant. It does, it's not going to last forever. So we would like students that are eligible to take advantage. And so we're planning on having a virtual session, information session on Wednesday, July 22nd. We're going to host 2 sessions, one at 10 in the morning and one at 4 p.m.
One of the questions I would have is if I'm a student and I know I've experienced a hardship from Harvey and I'm still having a hard time recovering, how do I prove that? Are you going to ask for proof, or how does the student prove that to receive those funds?
Sure. Yeah, there's going to be some documentation that we're going to need. Generally, we're going to need a letter from either FEMA or the Red Cross or your insurance company. You should have filed with somebody at that time. And hopefully you've held onto that paperwork. We'll cross our fingers on that one. If not, you can always contact the agencies. They should have copies of all the paperwork that you've kept. And then if you're looking for replacement or something like that of a loss that a monetary loss that was never recovered, we may need some sort of paperwork concerning that. And we'll also need some sort of lease or something showing that you were in an affected county, living, in the affected county.
So if you can produce those documents, it'll certainly help your case. But like you said, sometimes people may not always have that, but you can assist them or let them know where they can go to get the information. Yeah,
we always try to say yes before we ever have to say no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there are times where there's been, some students that just can't produce anything, and we have had to say no. There are some requirements. This is a Department of Education grant, so it is audited. There are some requirements that we have. But we work as hard as we can with the students to not let that be a barrier. We never want to put barriers in front of a student for their success.
And once again, you have a workshop coming up, our virtual meeting on July 22nd. There's one at 10 a.m. and one at 4 p.m. Will those be live, and can people ask questions during them?
Yeah, they're going to be live. We're going to have the link to it is going to be on the HCC website under the financial aid area. And we'll have people on there to help with admissions if you're applying to be an HCC student, and you think that you might need this Harvey assistance. We'll have admissions people there. We'll have access to the financial aid applications, as well as the Harvey grant recovery application. And we hope to help students get enrolled and in the program and in HCC if necessary.
Daniel, I know your background is in financial planning, retirement and long-term financial planning. I know when I first started one of my big major jobs, I'm not going to say how many years ago, it's quite some time ago, it was in the news industry. And I remember them telling me, well, the company will set aside some dollars so that when you retire, and I'm thinking, I'm 20 some odd years old. Who cares about that at this point? I just want to get out and work and make a little bit of money. But realistically, now's the time, if you're a young person, to start thinking that way, so you're not scrambling at the last minute when you hit your 50s or early 60s, right?
Absolutely. In terms of retirement planning, time either works for you or against you. And in your mid 40s, really, it's a tipping point of, if you start retirement planning after mid 40s, time's kind of working against you. Mathematically speaking, anyone who starts a retirement plan and in their early 20s, and assumes that you assume a reasonable rate of return of about 7-8%, which historically the stock market returns after over a 10-year period. And you're making reasonable income just through a 401k. You should have over $1 million in your retirement account.
Wow.
Most studies put that out, but people, again, they're young, they're bulletproof. Who can think 40, 50 years down the line? And so the time value of money, Albert Einstein once said, it's the most powerful force in the universe. Let that interest compound, let that money compound. And if anybody ever wants to get a better understanding of how that money can work for you, get in touch with a financial coach. We'll be happy to explain those concepts.
Daniel Scholl, we appreciate you being here on the show and bringing us a little bit of information about some important things that our students need to know. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. And we're going to go back and join Brittany Pacheco again. Brittany, good morning again. The HCC Finance and Accounting team has a huge announcement this morning.
They do. So Dr. Janet Warmack, who's our Senior Vice Chancellor of Finance and Administration and CFO, has announced the HCC's Finance and Accounting Department has received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association. This is a great honor that speaks to their dedication and commitment to excellence in financial reporting, as quoted by Dr. Warmack as she reflects on her team. So congratulations to our finance and accounting team on this award. What an achievement.
Certainly is. Job very well done. Congratulations to them all. We were talking COVID-19 earlier in the show. It's been a theme all throughout, but there are some testing sites available at HCC. Yesterday, we received confirmation from Dr. Jimmy Adams from the Northeast College that they are doing testing at the Northeast College at the Caldwell Center, but you do need to register ahead of time. One of them, though, you don't need to register ahead of time, and that's the HCC Southeast site as well.
That is correct. So we're open and running again at the Eastside campus, which is located at 6815 Rustic. This is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or until they hit capacity. So no appointments are required, but be sure to pack a lot of patience because I'm sure a lot of people are looking to be tested since this is a free testing site. So once again, pack some patience, try to arrive early, and just hang in there and all will be okay.
One thing we want to mention is we've got a partnership with the University of Houston, and it's for an engineering academy. The deadline's been extended till July 17th to sign up for this, and it's the Katy U of H HCC Engineering Academy. They're going to kick off this fall, Brittany, with their inaugural class.
That's correct. So what this means is that U of H and HCC Engineering Academy students are co-enrolled at both institutions from the moment they are accepted. So this is an amazing opportunity for students to have access to both programs and services that are at HCC and U of H. So you're talking lower tuition and fees, smaller class sizes. So if you don't believe us, talk to Susan Thompson, who's the STEM program director, who will be there Thursday to tell us more about it. And by there, I believe she's going to be on the show with us, right, Todd?
She is. She's going to be on the show with us in the future. One thing, Brittany, is that we have the one out in Katy, but we also have a number of other engineering academies. We have a partnership with UT Tyler, one with Texas A&M. And the incredible thing about this is you can wind up going through this and saving so much money. It's like getting an engineering degree for around $20,000 when all is said and done. And that's unheard of if you really think about it for a four-year degree. And in many cases, like with the U of H one, you're co-enrolled with Texas A&M, UT Tyler. So when you do graduate, you do wind up getting that four-year degree and saving a lot of money.
That is correct, Todd. I mean, what an amazing partnership that we have with these institutions for engineering, because I know I have a cousin who went to the School of the Mines in Colorado, and that is a pretty penny. So yeah. If you're interested in becoming an engineering student with U of H and HCC, be sure to go to hccs.edu/engineering-U of H. Not U of H, UH, sorry. But please join us this Thursday as we do welcome Susan Thompson, who will talk more about the program if you're interested. But in the meantime, head over to hccs.edu/engineering-UH.
Another thing to keep in mind, we've got a virtual convocation approaching here for HCC. We're all connected is the theme of HCC's Fall 2020 Virtual Convocation. It's happening on Friday, August 21st, and the registration starts next Monday through Friday, July 13th through 17th. Details to follow on our website, but you'll be seeing a lot more in our social media. You'll be receiving emails. So if you are a faculty or staff, you'll definitely want to look out for this because we've got a great event that we're planning for you on Friday, August 21st. Make sure you put that date on your calendar.
Definitely. Moving on to rec sports, we have virtual fitness classes that we're offering. At this time, it's just boot camps only, happening Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon until 12:40. This is open to all of our HCC family. That's our faculty, staff, and students. You must have an HCCS email to register. You can email christian.andrews@hccs.edu with the subject line, Virtual Fitness Summer 2020.
Before I left for vacation, we were talking about Zumba on Zoom. And then there was this sports trivia thing. And I think we nominated Justin Boyd to be our representative. I'm just following up with you guys because we haven't talked about this. How did that go?
You know what? I'm pretty sure Shanisha Weir from HCC Athletics dominated in that because our boy Justin, wasn't there.
I'm gonna have a talk with him. That's just very disheartening. Well, if you're going to HCC in the fall, you'll want to take a virtual information session. And we're making those easy for our students this summer. We're having virtual information sessions through the Enrollment Services Department. That's weekly through August, and they're offering help with admissions applications, testing, new student orientation, financial aid, choosing a program or major, and much more. Where can they go to get information on this, Brittany?
They can go to hccs.edu/information sessions. They have their next session happening this week, so be sure to sign up. It is required if you have any questions about enrolling at HCC. Once again, even though we're working remotely, we are still providing our services to all of our students and potential students. And on that note, Todd, I do want to say again, in regards to our international students, just because we have had a couple of questions here during the live stream, that at this time, due to ICE regulations about international students in colleges and universities, our HCC International Services and Programs are currently reviewing policies and will make an announcement about this regulations as soon as they have a statement to make. So you can find all that latest information here on social media. I'm sure we're going to also update our student resources page through our COVID-19 students pages on our website. But once again, at this time, we do not have a statement to make in regards to ICE regulations, international students, but please be rest assured that we will make a statement once we have it.
That's right. We don't have the information yet, but we are going to get you the best information we can, and we'll provide it to you and answer your questions through our social media. We're working on that right now. Raquel, out there in Stafford, you guys got any big things going on this week that you're going to be covering?
Not to my knowledge. We aren't covering anything. We're kind of just laying low in the midst of what's going on right now.
I know you produce a weekly show for folks who they can watch it also on HCCTV, and it's the Stafford Weekly News. Is that correct?
Yes, it's the Stafford Weekly News. We focus on highlighting HCC events, Stafford MSD events, along with local nonprofits in Fort Bend County. We feature the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, and other organizations within the theater district. Our news is categorized in different segments. We have HCC Beats, Spartan Spotlight, the Art Beats, Health-Wise, and a myriad of other different things. And we also have produced a Spartan Sports Central show where we focus on highlighting Stafford High School sports, highlighting the coaches and the athletes. And we produce a summer and a holiday magazine where we just kind of focus on like the festivities of the summer and throughout the holiday.
Well, we look forward to hearing from you in the future out there in Stafford, and thanks for being here on the show once again.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all.
And Daniel, thank you again for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful week.
And Brittany, thanks for being here on the show and bringing everyone up to date. I know you'll be looking in social media and answering those questions as we get them.
Absolutely. And be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram so that we can stay in touch. And also head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can find out the latest from HCCTV and Stafford METV. But also don't forget to join us tomorrow morning, Todd. We've got a very special guest, aside from Chief Cunningham, who makes his return to Up to the Minute. But boy, we haven't talked to the other guest in a long while.
Yeah, Sharda Campbell will be here. You used to see her in Financial Aid Fridays. Well, she's got a new role at HCC. Not really new. She's been doing it for a few months, but we'll talk to her more about that, and we'll catch up with Sharda. And then she's with Enrollment Services, so we'll hear more about how she works with communications with Enrollment Services. And as Brittany mentioned, we have Chief Greg Cunningham, the chief of our HCC Police Department. It's always great to visit with him every Wednesday, and it seems like I haven't visited with him in a few Wednesdays, so I'm looking forward to catching up with him tomorrow as well. Brittany, we'll see you again tomorrow, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Up to the Minute.